comes out, the more we see how large their cover-up has been. Questions on this subject? What? Yes, in the back. Yeah, we're all going together. Yeah, I mentioned that in my remarks. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I don't know if we're going to get. We're all going, and we have set up appointments to go. Yes.
Leader Schumer, you asked for unanimous consent on the floor a few weeks ago. Whip Barrasso objected. What is your floor strategy moving forward to kind of get Senate action on this?
Well, the bottom line is the Republicans all voted for it, every single one, and we're going to keep at it. We're going to use every strategy we can, going to the Justice Department, seeking lawsuits, as well as whatever legislative strategies will work. Yes?
Over in the House side, the Clintons are being deposed starting today and tomorrow in the Epstein investigation. Just your general reaction to that?
Look, all the truth should come out, period. Yes?
Thank you, Senator Schumer from the Italian National TV. Just two quick questions. One, do you also see a difference in the treatment that this case has been happening in Europe and here in the
As my colleagues well outlined, I agree.
Okay. Second question, how do you react to people who say that Democrats and Republicans are enacting a new form of McCarthyism, basically judging guilty by association, whether it is in the email or...
Yeah, all we want is the truth, the truth.
Is there any danger of new
Yes.
form of McCarthyism?
Is there any effort to reach out to the woman who made the claim against President Trump?
There will be efforts to reach out to everyone who's willing to come forward and speak. And do you want to talk about that?
I think I mentioned in my remarks.
Yeah.
Both legal letter on preserving evidence and witnesses.
Yeah, so we can get it. Yes.
When we see the unredacted documents, what can the public expect from you to inform them? Can you do anything to inform them?
Well, we're not going to prejudge. Let's see what's in the documents. We want to protect people's identities, but we also want the truth to come out, and we will walk that line with great vigor. Yes.
There are an additional 3 million files that have not been released, and many, it seems, of the files that have been released remain redacted or have parts redacted. So what steps are you taking to ensure that those redactions are unredacted?
Yeah, we're going to demand justification for any redactions, and if the redactions are cover-ups as opposed to protecting identities, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
How?
We're going to get to the bottom of it. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Supplies to lower the market. Well, of course they did, because their competitors were doing it. And so there's been some terrible precedents set with particularly the Pickett versus IBP case. And so it makes people fearful to even use the Packers and Stockyards Act. We need those rules that we were talking about clear back before the first Trump term. We need those rules to be clarified, to do exactly what Joe just had said earlier. We shouldn't have to prove harm to the industry competition. It's a matter of fact, have you been injured by their illegal acts? And so we've got bad precedent, and we need Congress to step in and really force better rules to be written. And honestly, we cannot continue to allow secretaries of agriculture who have absolutely no intent of going against any of these big companies. We can't let them make their own rules. Congress has got to be more precise. And they also, after passing this important legislation, they have to be there when those rules are written, because the packers, the big retailers, the big tech companies, every one of them is at that table. But guess who's not? People like myself.
Senator Lujan.
Mike, I'm one of the questions I've received from folks back home where we were able to protect some of those smaller processing facilities, as hard as it is. There was already a shortage of inspectors to be able to get down there to make sure that you could operate, that you could run, that you could sell, that you could do those things as a small family business. But after Elon Musk and all this doging and people getting fired, it's hard to find an inspector anywhere now. Is that also one of the problems that we're seeing today? So under the argument of saving the American people money, they eliminate all the folks that should be there to help make sure that we can get this product to market, help small farmers, but then prices go up as well.
So I've been under inspection for a long time, and I've seen it. some of the rules, some of the regulations, just some of the things like Almanza, for example, what he did under previous administrations. And it was, the whole system was designed to hurt small plants. How can an inspector go in there and find a reason to deny inspection? Whether it's the Humane Slaughter Act, with you can't ever miss on the kill, or just a lot of other things like Legg was doing up in Montana, putting small plants out of business as an inspector. But we've never really had the leadership from the top that didn't work in my life. We've never had leadership from the top in the USDA that did not work for the big meat packers. And right now, today, we put all of this grant money into small plants during COVID after realizing they're the ones we should be investing in. They're the resilient ones. They're the ones that will serve community interests and state interests and consumer interests as well. And then we don't buy from them. Or we let them enter into an anti-competitive market where Cisco puts them out of every single restaurant that they're currently in, where school lunch no longer will buy from the local plants anymore, even though they're USDA inspected. And so we've had leadership like Almanza. Heck, he let rotten meat into the United States and then went to work for the guys that provided it, the Batista brothers with JBS. So why in the world would Vilsack buy from JBS and avoid plants like mine, who either sell our trim or go broke? And we are not taking care of these small plants. They need rescued right now. There's a small plant at Springfield, Missouri right now that's got $2.5 million worth of debt. They built that plant knowing that, oh, we got to build local regional, and the end is near.
Senators, can I wait? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
Yes,
Can I
Tim.
wait? I think everyone in this room would agree that more competition in the middle layer is extremely important. But and in the Biden administration, we took our strongest shot at trying to improve competition in this area. And the fact is, we need stronger laws and more resources. I just want to get back to that, because we just say we're going to break this up. It's not going to work. We need stronger laws. We really need to differentiate in this country between the essential industries that provide some kind of essential product and need either heightened merger enforcement or heightened merger review standards or something like that, and the rest of the economy. And food is, the core example of an essential industry. And I also think, if competition isn't going to show up, at some point you need to be able to threaten price regulation. And that's something we've totally taken off the arsenal. He's like, we can never do this. This is also true in telecom. If you're not going to be able to threaten serious remedies like breakups or price regulation, all of this becomes kind of a conversation that no one hears about. So you need to have government have actual remedies like price regulation and actual capacity for breakups, or else all of this turns into a farce that people remember happened 10 years ago.
Thank you. We're going to end this, but I did want to put, because it is important for us to also talk about what we are doing to strengthen the opportunity to, in a world of commoditization, helping. And so I think, Rob, you mentioned this issue of, so we in Washington State, obviously a big wheat state, but you'd be surprised that in the other part of the state, Skagit County, we've done a bread lab. That bread lab was about increasing the taste of bread product, and basically now every restaurant in Seattle wants this bread because we have increased the value of both on a protein level, a bunch of different things. And so, was that you, Rob, who mentioned that we should be doing more to help in a world of lower price commodities, add value to our agricultural products by growing more opportunities for them?
Absolutely, and I would give a shout out to President Biden and his administration for a huge investment in building a linkage there for connecting consumers directly to those who are growing product, local food procurement. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the Trump administration, that was completely pulled back. And there is an effort now to kind of reestablish that, but there's no funding behind that. But I think whether it's continuing to make efforts for that connection, whether it's also not putting all of the investments in selling product in export markets at a loss, whatever we can do to bring added value across the agricultural sector, I think is always an improvement, and particularly that direct connection between consumers and farmers, as we often share with, talk about the farmers share, which is shown up here in the room. That number is always going to be higher, and a good quality product for the consumer.
But that is a big opportunity, and then obviously using AI for good. Like if you can figure out, exactly how much water to use on every acre using AI and drive down the cost. So I want to, point out that we do want to grow the agricultural economy in ways that as the world competition increases, we're there with smart strategies. But clearly, you've given us unbelievable data and information today to take action on laws that we should draft and drop next week in where the shortcomings of existing statutes aren't just getting us there. As you've all said, we've already been through the legal process. It doesn't work for us fully, and let's get this job done and push our colleagues to help adopt them. So thank you all very much for a really, really inspiring session about our challenges and how we're going to meet them. Thank you. And thank you to my colleague, Senator Lujan, for co-chairing this with us, and Senator Schumer. Thank you.